Hello, I'm Mandy. I'm a residential surveyor and I have ADHD. I was diagnosed just over 2 years ago when I was 54, and there are various things that led me to seek an ADHD assessment. The main factor was in relation to the worsening of my symptoms, and that correlated with a change in my HRT regime and treatment. And it was almost overnight that I felt like the wheels had fallen off. It was horrific. Couldn't concentrate, I couldn't focus in conversations, I was distracted, I couldn't sit still, and I was bouncing from one thought to the next all day. And this is just a very small snapshot of what happened. When I was diagnosed, it was actually really difficult for me to come to terms with it all. A lot of people say it's a light bulb moment for them, but that's only partly true for me. My diagnosis is detailed, it runs to a few pages, and from it I learnt about a list of other difficulties I was experiencing. It was actually really overwhelming and a lot to understand and come to terms with, and it's taken me some time. In my day-to-day life, ADHD affects me in all sorts of ways. Time blindness is a really big one. I never have any understanding at all, even roughly, what time it is or how long a task will take. Another one is distraction. I find it incredibly hard to even speak to someone if there's noise in the background of any kind. I'm medicated for ADHD now, but I'm still seeking ways to support myself. And sometimes it's the simple things that make a difference. I have a very, very large clock on the wall in front of my desk, which is a game changer, but it works. It doesn't always work. I have coloured filters on my screens that help with my reading speed. I have a very quiet and calm office with the lights dimmed down usually. I have special earplugs to help dim down background frequencies so I can have conversations in noisy places. I have software that gives me transcripts of meetings. A good night's sleep is really underrated, but absolutely vital. I don't always manage that. In fact, I very rarely manage that, but I do try. I recognise when I need to take a rest in the week, and I always make sure I do, and I don't feel guilty about it. I've also adjusted my working hours to when I'm most productive. So I think this one might be interesting. 9 to 5 doesn't work for me, actually never has worked for me. So I don't have meetings between 9 and 11 in the morning if I can at all help it. I wish more people knew about the link between hormones and ADHD. I wish it was more widely understood that there's lots of overlapping traits between ADHD and other diagnostic labels like autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia, and there's probably some others. ADHD is very personal and complex, and my experience is just mine. It's highly unlikely to be the same as someone else's. And I wish that people understood that TikTok videos are very often misleading and not based on hard facts. Something else that I wish people understood as well, that the word superpower is really, really annoying, because we don't have superpowers. But there are things some people with ADHD can do better than others, but it's not a superpower. So please stop calling it that. Thank you.